Fellow pharmacists, colleague, and friends, as I stand before you today, I'm reminded of the many crossroads that we have faced throughout our professional careers. Each year, we find ourselves fighting for our patients, our livelihoods, our businesses, and our hospitals. And each year, we gather here to learn, grow, and discuss ways to advance our profession. Over the past year, Tessa has done an incredible job of reorganizing our association, laying the groundwork for committees to thrive, planning for succession, and fostering growth from the grassroots level. This foundation is exactly what we need as we enter this pivotal year. Now, more than ever, unity and organization are crucial for us to move forward, to become better advocates for our patients, to be recognized as providers, to earn a living by owning a business, and to truly utilize our licenses and education for the betterment of healthcare. We are facing several significant initiatives, and KPHA cannot achieve these without full participation. It will require all of us to act as one profession, one voice, one message. If we don't unify now, then when? When will we, as pharmacists, finally stand up and say, enough is enough? Our representatives in national and state legislatures are beginning to uncover the truths about PBMs, about 340B, and about how pharmacists have the potential to do more and should be doing more. It's up to us to push all of this across the finish line. This is the year. This is the crossroads. We must be willing to fight for our profession now, because if we don't, others will make the rules for us. Change is inevitable. How comfortable are we willing to get to progress our profession, to create the change, and to be the leaders for ourselves and future pharmacists? PBM reform has become a buzzword, but what does it really mean? For me, it means finally taking control of payment models, keeping our pharmacies open to serve patients face to face, and not allowing corporate giants to win and collapse healthcare for millions of Americans. It's not just about us versus them anymore. Enough is enough, but we have to be willing to say no and to stand up to our bullies. If not now, then when? The 340B program is a lifeline for Kansas, keeping our rural hospitals and clinics open. If we're not willing to speak up and fight for our communities, healthcare, and our patients' dollars, then others will. We must not only be at the table, we must also be engaged in creating solutions. We see the direct and indirect impact of 340B, and we know there are solutions. We are not driven by greed, we're driven by the desire to fight for our patients, hospitals, and clinics. If not now, then when? We all know we have expertise, accessibility, and capability to change the primary healthcare dynamic, especially during a time when provider shortages can be overwhelming with other healthcare avenues. If we don't stand up and tell the country what we can and should be doing, others will dictate our profession's future. On a personal note, my daughter is 11, and I recently received a postcard stating that she needed a DTaP vaccine for school. I can't give her this vaccine for another 5 months and 20 days, but magically when she turns 12, I'll have permission to do what we've been doing as pharmacists for the last 3 years during COVID. Instead, now I'm relying on an overwhelmed health department nurse to give a vaccine that I am fully qualified to administer. This narrative must change in this state and across this country. I know I'm not the only one facing access issues to vaccines for kids. I know I'm not the only one who donates their time to meet with patients, explain their medications, costs, side effects, and address their concerns. We all do it. We must start sharing these stories over and over to anyone who will listen. We must stand up for ourselves and demonstrate what we have the ability to do. If not now, then when? If we don't unify as a profession and fight for progression and empowerment, others will continue to dictate how we practice, who we can practice with, and the interactions that we have with patients. If they continue to control our prices, find loopholes to squeeze pharmacies, and paint us as the bad guys, we must stand up to these challenges and push to create a better pharmacy profession. My goal as president is ambitious, and I know this, but I didn't get to where I am by being quiet and standing in the shadows. I've swum upstream, and so have all of you. Now, we need to lock arms and finish this agenda once and for all. As pharmacists, we are the creators of our own destiny. How will you choose to live this next year? In fear or in growth? Together, I invite you to choose growth, choose unity, choose to lead. Because if not now, then when?